What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes. And it's Wednesday, so you already know what that means. It's time for your AEW Dynamite review. And this is the post all out Dynamite, man. And as far as a post pay-per-view show, outside of the stuff dealing with Hangman and Moxley, if it wasn't for those two characters, man, you really wouldn't tell that the pay-per-view just happened this past weekend. Now, as far as a setup for a Grand Slam, it did a good job, but as far as a post pay-per-view show, not so much. So speaking of Jon Moxley, this was pretty much the Jon Moxley show. Dynamite started off with a video package of Jon Moxley talking about his actions, talking about kind of giving you a little bit of a reason as to why he did what he did. He hasn't really given a full reason, but he pretty much saying that, you know, he loved Bryan and he was just pretty much tired of doing things Bryan's way. He said diplomacy was dead. You know, we got to start doing things our way. We're taking over. This company is ours, and blah blah blah. It was shot really well. Like the cinematography behind this video package, well done. Moxley did a good job of delivering the promo. And then this isn't the last time we see Jon Moxley, because later in the show we were supposed to have a trios match between Private Party and Commander for some reason, taking on I don't even know who they were gonna wrestle, because the Blackpool Combat Club came through and just beat everyone's ass. And before I really get into the meat of what happened in this promo, the fact that they have the main event was a tag team gauntlet match featuring the tag teams of AEW, and Private Party was in a trios match that didn't happen, that got beat up by the Blackpool Combat Club, doesn't really make sense to me. I don't get it. I don't understand what the logic was. I mean, I get that you want the BCC to look strong, but Private Party should have been in that gauntlet match. Private Party should have been featured in the main event. Private Party should have been fighting for an opportunity to fight for the tag team titles instead of getting beat down by the Blackpool Combat Club. But I digress, because now we hear from Pac. Pac is saying that for the longest time he's been feeling lost, and now he's finally found his tribe. He's finally found some homies he can beat people up with, and Moxley and Claudio and Marina. So, you know, again, repeating the fact that, you know, diplomacy is dead. They're taking over, you know. And this was not the last time we will see Jon Moxley, because now we have Darby Allin coming out. He's saying that, you know, look, you're looking for me, Jon Moxley, I'm right here. Jon Moxley comes out, and Darby starts talking, you know, telling his backstory once again, saying that when he got into the wrestling business, he was looking forward to like fighting his heroes and going up against and finding people to like be a mentor to him. And when he finally came across Jon Moxley, he was kind of excited, but then he realized that he didn't want to be anything like Jon Moxley because of the way he treated Bryan Danielson and the way he's treated people in the past. And Jon Moxley like, yeah, that's cool, I don't want to hear none of that. Listen, kid, you're not ready for this AEW championship match, so you might as well just go ahead and fork it over. And now instead of it being Darby Allin versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW championship, it is now going to be Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley, and the winner of that match will face Bryan Danielson in the future. And the way they set this up was because of how Jon Moxley and them beat up Bryan Danielson. He wasn't in any condition to compete for the AEW World Championship, or he wasn't in any condition to defend the AEW World Championship. And I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks, but you know, it makes sense because you want to sell this angle, you want to sell the beatdown of Bryan Danielson, so that makes sense. However, we cut to the back and we see Nigel McGuinness. He's talking to Christopher Daniels. He's saying he wants to talk to Tony Khan. Later in the night, Nigel McGuinness comes out, and he pretty much lays out the challenge to Bryan Danielson. And I'm like, okay, cool. However, this match is taking place at Grand Slam. So I'm like, hold on. So Darby can't fight for the championship because Bryan Danielson wasn't cleared to compete at Grand Slam. However, pending on Bryan Danielson's condition, he's going to wrestle with Nigel McGuinness. Now, I have absolutely no problem with Bryan Danielson wrestling Nigel McGuinness because that's a match that we've been wanting for the longest time. With all the trash that Nigel McGuinness has talked about Bryan Danielson on commentary, you knew this match was going to happen, especially with him wrestling at All In. So you knew this match was going to happen. How they got here is still kind of screwy. It's still kind of fishy. I don't know. It's looking like we're getting Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley, I'm assuming, at Wrestle Dream. But the way we're getting there, I don't know. I don't know if Tony thought this all the way through. I don't know if he had an idea or a concept. I don't know what the heck he has going on. But yeah, we're getting 2 good matches at Grand Slam. But I don't know, Tony. And again, speaking of the AEW World Championship, we have Christian Cage and the Patriarchy. They're coming out. They're out there. They're telling everyone, and Christian's telling everyone to shut their mouths while he conducts his business. And he's talking about how he was going to cash in at All Out, but he felt that it wasn't the right time. He conveniently omitted the fact that the Blackpool Combat Club stood in the way of him and the AEW World Championship. But tomato, tomato. He's doing his own thing. And Christian is pretty much saying that when the time is right, he will be the AEW World Champion. He also said that he's gonna beat Bryan Danielson so bad that he's gonna wish his wife was the one with CTE. I'm like, yo, Christian is off his rocker. He's crazy, but I love it because he's such a great father. You can't just throw out that CTE line and talk about the man's wife and just not get away with it, man. So yeah. Earlier I talked about the tag team gauntlet match. And one of the teams involved in this gauntlet match was Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. Now, I'm pretty sure you're wondering, wait, what? I got you. So Don Callis is talking. He's got Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita with him. Will Ospreay pulls up, he's dapping up his boy Kyle. And Don Callis is like, listen, you remember that favor I said I'm going to need that right now. So Will Ospreay is probably the best competitor when it comes to these gauntlet matches for AEW. So Don Callis is like, look, man, you and Kyle Fletcher, y'all link up, man, y'all go after these tag team titles. And Will was like, I don't want to. I got Ricochet I'm looking out for. I got to defend this international championship. He's like, please. And Kyle Fletcher's like, please. So Will caves in and he does it. Conveniently, Takeshita does not look happy about this. He's kind of looking like, yo, what's going on? And I guess Don kind of makes up for it later in the show because him and Okada square up and it looks like they're going to wrestle in the future, which I need. I got to have that match. But back to Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. They're going to tag up. And my thinking is that Kyle Fletcher is going to end up losing. And this is going to set up some type of rift between him and Will Ospreay. That was not the case. So we have this tag team gauntlet match. The Young Bucks are watching from the stage. You have FTR, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay, the Maximum Male Models, the Acclaim, the Righteous, Undisputed Kingdom, Top Flight's in there. And the whole time, I guess this is really my fault for, listening to the internet because I'm thinking, all right, somebody's got to pull up. Somebody's got to show up. It's got to be some type of big surprise. Maybe the Motor City Machine Guns. Maybe the Hurt Business. I don't know. We didn't get no surprise. The real surprise was Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay won. And they're going to wrestle the Young Bucks at Grand Slam. And outside of the match being good, does Will Ospreay really need to be in this spot? I don't think so, because there's a bigger issue going on here, and it's the AEW tag team division. Like, when AEW first started, they touted the tag team division. They said that tag team wrestling is back, baby. We're gonna do it big, and for the most part, they did. For many, many years, AEW's tag team division was one of the best things on their program. Here lately, their tag team division has been too packs of ass. It sucks. It starts with the Young Bucks and it works their way down, man. And the thing that's kind of heartbreaking is you have teams like Private Party, you have teams like Undisputed Kingdom, you have teams like Top Flight, and you have really good tag teams. Even the House of Black, like, they weren't even featured at all. And it's like, there's no way this tag team division should be this bad. There's no way this tag team division should be booked as poorly as it is, and it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't know, man. I was hoping that this would be something that would help get the tag team division back on track, but it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like we're getting more of the same, and it's really confusing as to why. But the match will be good, so I guess a win's a win. I don't know. As far as the rest of the show goes, you had a TNT Championship match between Lio Rush and Jack Perry. It was an alright match, you know. Jack Perry is doing his thing. He pulled up in his little truck thingy, his school bus or whatever, and you know, he beat up Lio Rush. It was an okay match. Jack Perry won to the surprise of nobody, and he cut a promo saying that, you know, I don't even know what Jack Perry was talking about. I don't know. Like I said before, man, I don't have any problem with Jack Perry. It's just this whole scapegoat gimmick. It's not for me, but yeah. Something that is for me is crazy ass Hangman. This dude he's full bad guy now. He finally got his revenge on Swerve. Renee Paquette asked him about burning the man's house down, and Hangman said if Swerve had 1,000 houses, Hangman would burn down all 1,000 of them. I'm like, yo, that is real hate. That is hate. That is Kendrick Lamar type hate, man. So yeah, and then you see Hangman. He's just unhinged. He's beating up people in the back. He beat up Jeff Jarrett. He's yelling at the Dark Order, who nobody cares about. Why weren't they in the tag team gauntlet match? I don't know, but whatever. Like I said, nobody cares about the Dark Order, I guess. So yeah, looking like we're getting Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett in the future. So now, unfortunately, I have to talk about the Learning Tree, because it's the Learning Tree, and I don't like the Learning Tree, because Chris Jericho, why, bro, why? So for some reason, Chris Jericho swung this feud back to the pandemic, where him and Orange Cassidy had a Mimosa Madness match, where Orange Cassidy ruined Chris Jericho's jacket, and for some reason Chris Jericho hasn't let this little grudge go, because he keeps bringing up the fact that Orange Cassidy ruined his $700 jacket and he wants his money back, so much to the point where Chris Jericho stole Orange Cassidy's book bag that had a picture of best friends in it, and I don't care. You even go later in the show where the Learning Tree had a trios match against, I don't know, the Iron Savages. The Learning Tree won. And then you have Chris Jericho calling out Orange Cassidy. And I also forgot that the Learning Tree pulled up in a brand spanking new car, which means something had to happen to it. I was thinking that Orange Cassidy was going to pour orange juice in it or something, or maybe just blow it up or whatever. And what ended up happening was Kyle O'Reilly and Mark Briscoe dumped a whole bunch of change in the car, and I'm like, I would rather see the car be destroyed. But if you ever lost change in your car, you can understand how frustrating it is to get it out. So I guess it's a minor inconvenience. So yeah, man, the damn Learning Tree. Oh brother, I don't care. And they're kind of already teasing Big Bill breaking up from Chris Jericho, because Chris Jericho was saying something about you can't make friends in this business because they're all going to use you in the end. And Big Bill had this look on his face like, oh buddy. So yeah, hopefully this leads to the end of the Learning Tree. But yeah, something cool happened though. We had Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara, and this was a real fun match, man. There was a whole bunch of flips going on. I think the crowd was chanting "This is Flippy" or something like that, but it was a whole bunch of flips and turns and twists and whatnot. Sammy Guevara did a moonsault off the top of the stage for some reason. Ricochet did a double jump front flip off the barricade, which was pretty cool. Ricochet ended up getting the win with this real cool move. I keep blanking on what the name of the move is, but it always looks cool when Ricochet does it. So there was that. And then for some reason, the Beast Mortals attacked Ricochet after the match, and Sammy Guevara made the save. Why? I don't know. I don't even know who the Beast Mortos is affiliated with anymore. He's not with the Undisputed Kingdom. He was with Shane Tanger Promotions for like a day. So I don't know what this man has going on, but yeah, good for him. Good for Ricochet. Good for bald people. Mariah May and Queen Aminata had a match. It was an eliminator match. I hate those for this specific reason, because Mariah May won. Queen Aminata will not be getting a title shot in the near future. And then afterwards, you have Mariah May teasing this celebration that's never going to happen. But she said that the reason this celebration isn't happening is because she's missing one person, and that's Mina Shirakawa. And I perked up because I love me some Mina. So if this is leading up to an eventual match between Mariah and Mina, sign me up. But yeah, this was a thing that happened on this episode of Dynamite that happened. And the last thing I want to talk about is Hook challenged Roddy, I guess, to a match. Don't know when it's going to happen. If it's going to happen next week, the week after that, Grand Slam, I don't know. But Roddy and Hook are going to wrestle for the FTW Championship. So yeah, man, I was going into this episode of Dynamite, I was excited because I wanted to see the fallout. I wanted to see what was going to happen. I wanted to see what storylines would progress going forward. I wanted to see what was going to happen with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. And everything concerning Jon Moxley was awesome. It was good. I enjoyed it. Hangman was good. Everything else on this episode of Dynamite, I don't know, man. I don't know. Wasn't really the best episode ever. It wasn't the worst I've seen, but I don't know. I don't know if I set my expectations too high or if it was just a mid show. I think it's a combination of both. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, what did you think of this week's episode of Dynamite? What do you think about the Aussie Open taking on the Young Bucks? What do you think about this whole thing with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley and Darby and Nigel, which is pretty cool? But yeah, man, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Peace. I'm out. Peace.